Welcome, sisters, to the Goddess's Wealth Lab, a sacred space for abundance, for connection, for you.
Welcome, welcome, goddesses. This is Jasmine, your host. And in today's topic is probably one of those topics that I continue to remind myself every day because it could be difficult. It could be revolutionary. Sounds like you being selfish. It can sound like to be selfish is the biggest one that I feel that was my most thoughts when I start saying, you know what, I'm going to now first choose myself. And I believe that there's going to be moments in every woman's life where it can be as a strong voice inside you coming out that you had enough and it's time for you to choose yourself, choose your sanity, choose your love for yourself before anyone else. And it can be difficult, especially for those that have children, I would say, because women especially are so caring and have that energy of caring, especially that by saying that you are going to choose yourself before someone else, it can be like I said, sound like you are a bad mother, a bad sister, a bad spouse, or a bad girlfriend. But in reality is in my opinion, the only way to survive in this world because there's going to be so many times where people trying to get your service, get the knowledge that you have, get the time that you have for them. And there's some times when you have to say absolutely not. It's my time, my sanity, my life, and that's the main thing. It's my life, it's nobody else's. And that's the topic of today, to choose yourself first before anyone else, before anything else, because not only the investment is worth it, but it's the biggest tool that you can get to survive. So let's get first started with thank you again to be here. And in this week, as you seen in my posts and my I guess always you hear me also saying this, that you should always choose yourself, be your first love, your first muse, your first idea of your business. So, and we also taught in personal life too to put others first, because we are as women seen as overcaring, overprotected. But if you first choose you, the level of love and care can even be bigger and better. And I'm going to give examples of that as well. So why matters? First of all, you cannot build a business from depletion. You cannot help somebody else with you feeling bad or feeling burnout or being disconnected from yourself, or not have that lack of certainty and self-love for yourself first, and definitely you were not able to do it to others. It's just how it works. You are not able to, for instance, serve others if you if you yourself feel that it's not confident enough, that your service is not enough, or what you're given is not enough, or you just burn out, or without that lack of spark and creativity that it requires for not only give but to serve as well. So that's the reason why it's so important to always choose first than anyone else. I remember having this conversation with some friends. They're single mothers, because they will always say, "Well, I have to wait until my kid did this. My kid goes to college," and I'll be like, "Why?" I think that, for instance, if my mother, when I was growing up, my parents divorced while we were adults, but I will think that I wanted to see my mother not only succeed in every area of her life, to be even inspired by her. So for me, it was very important to see that not only in my mother and my grandmother, but also in my friends as well, because sometimes we just forget that we are women first. We are divine creation first, that it matters that we are sane and that we are rested and that we have our 8 hours of sleep before we can even be able to go out there and give the best of ourselves. It's impossible to do it without, for instance, lack of sleep. When I was in college, and everybody who has been in higher education or in training for a long period of time knows that stress of be able to not only pass but to succeed in academics or in our work, that sometimes you will have to not sleep. And one time I remember clearly, I drank so much Red Bull to keep myself awake to study that I didn't sleep for almost 48 hours. And I remember also promised myself that moment that, I mean, I did good in the test, but my sanity was really lacking because I was not, I was shaky for like 48 hours, and my sleep really, really affect me for that week. And I think I felt guilty for doing that because of that, because I know that I did well for the test, but and the price for what? The price of me drinking, by the way, don't, if I have to choose again to even not drink Red Bull, I would never drink Red Bull in my life again, because it's so damaging for your health too. The amount of sugar, I mean, I can go on and on, but that's not the point of this discussion. The point of this discussion was that I didn't choose myself first. I choose to the test first, and I really paid the price for it, because if I would have choose myself first, I know that I would have go more confident, and the same level of confidence if I would have actually get sleep and just study every day and I promised myself after that I would not sleep or stay awake longer than 10 p.m. because I still remember until these days how bad I felt after not be able to sleep for 48 hours. So yeah, that's why it matters, because there's not the best version that you can give is that the more clear of you, the one that you choose yourself, the one that is very confident of you are and your own skin and your knowledge. And now, especially after my 45 years, 20 plus years of, for instance, my accounting degrees, for instance, I got into a point where I just do not take for less, or I do not take for, um, if you don't, for instance, if you don't feel confident in my work as an accountant, for instance, I will right away feel it and just maybe do not continue that relationship. And that goes for every relationship that I have, personally and professionally, because I believe that I have not only studied so much, but I have worked so much in my life that I am confident of who I am as a Jasmine and as an accountant. So how does it look like? It doesn't have to look so also loud either. It can be just like I mentioned before, silently and said, making that decision that no, I rather be sleeping at home at 9:30 before, instead of going to a party or whatever that choice that it is, that it will make you feel even more confident if you choose yourself or other versus not, right? So it can be just a silent yes, or it can be a very hard, loud no. I'm not taking that, even though it sounds great, but no. Another example that I have that I always remember from my youth is that I will have girlfriends that, and yourself too, that you would say, "Oh, look at that guy, how handsome," uh, and then whenever you actually going out with that guy, you're like, "Wait a minute." That's what I was so like concerned or worried about, that they would not like me, but in reality, he's just okay. He's just another guy or whatever. That is something that in my personal life I have not have experienced, because growing up I was very loved by my family, loved by my coworkers, loved by my managers, that I never had that issue where I if a guy doesn't like me or my crush doesn't like me, it's not like it's going to be the end of the day, the world for me. It will be like, okay, well, it did not work, it did not happen. That's fine, but I never have a guy that I like not like me, or I see it where if they didn't choose me or they didn't like me, it's because it was a protection from God. There was a saying back in the 90s, I don't remember who said it, but I always go by it since I grew up, that when somebody's not choosing you or a job not choosing you, it's because it's God protecting you for something, or for some for someone, or something better, or from that grumpy guy or whatever it is. There was this lady, or I'm sorry, this friend of mine, that we were all like, oh my gosh, you're going to go out with this new guy that was in school. He was from France, and we were all so excited that she was going, and we were like, oh man, how I wish that it was us, or whatever. When you're a teenager, that's what you think, that I don't know, you're kind of second guessing yourself and those kind of thing. And I remember whenever she came back to tell us about her date with this guy, she was so disappointed, because she was like, no, he's just not interested. He was just not, I don't know how even like for an hour we were able to talk because there was nothing to talk. If it wasn't for me to talking, there was nothing we could have talked. So that always keep in my mind if I ever felt insecure about a guy or in that time. But anyways, so I'm going to give you 3 steps that I think I do to start choosing you. First, make sure that you are clear in what you want. There's nothing worse for the universe and the world when isn't undecisive, is not ready to choose. That goes for me when somebody's like, well, I don't know, it can be this, it can be that. That's the worst thing you can do to me because like make up your mind, be clear what you want, and let's get ready to do it, right? Let's get on to it. Let's not waste anyone's time. Let's just go ahead and do it, even though that it doesn't have to be 100% clear, but you know the feeling when you know the feeling that is the right thing to do. Just go for it. Maybe it's not as for instance, you know that you want a business that you can work for yourself and everything. That already is a step to what do you want in your life. And the clarity just comes with continuing thinking, continuing working on yourself. So, but the awareness of clarity has to be the first step. The second step is a non-negotiable boundaries, where if you, for instance, start a business and said, I'm going to start a business and it's going to be in 30 days, and that's it. Make sure that there's a non-negotiable, because if you do not have that negotiable, you will not work that hard for it, or you will not have that you cannot complain afterwards if it did not work the way you wanted, because you didn't put those boundaries, you didn't put those negotiable points that you wanted in your business, in your life, or whatever. For instance, I remember when I start my my crystal business, that I know that I will not sell crystals. They are hot. I'm sorry. How can I say this? Um, there has to be a specific boundaries with my clients. So I know that I will not have a policy of return policy, because I know where the crystals come from. I work very hard to get them, and I know that what I'm selling is the best product you can get. And so, in that boundary or that decision was a non-negotiable for me. I would not. I remember saying I wouldn't, because one time there was this lady that will continue saying, well, did you want for this price, or did you want for that price, and I'll be like, no, the price is what is in there and there's no return. And just like that. And she appreciate my honesty, and she appreciate my certainty, and that's just the bottom line. So I think that I know that it might sound a little bit also, like I said, that it is narcissistic or maybe selfish, not narcissistic, selfish, but in reality, the better you are in your message, the clarity you get to others is best for what you want to receive in life and what you want to give to others. I went through, for instance, a divorce where that thought of, oh, this relationship, I could have, no, I knew that I was giving my 100%? Did I give my 100%? That was also a lesson that I want to learn too, because if I didn't, I want to make sure that whenever I go to another relationship or in life in general, even if I don't have a partner in that time, I always wanted to make sure that I learned the lesson, or whatever lesson that I learned with this relationship, so I will not hopefully look for those patterns in myself and for the other person. Yeah, so that's step number 2. And step number 3 is take one aligned action daily. This is so important, even if it's a 5 minutes prayer, a 5 minute meditation, a 3 minute meditation. For instance, in my 40-day the whole rituals or the whole meditation practices will take you no less than 20 minutes, and I make sure that I do it every day religiously, because it's so important to your thoughts. Your heart is like a muscle, as of course it's a muscle that actually does need daily workout, does need daily reminder. Not because you said it last week that you're going to finish a podcast, for instance, and it's a week later, then what happened those 10 days? You have to kind of do an activity that reminds you, or a ritual that reminds you that that is in your mind, that you're working in your goals. I mean, if for instance you're opening a business and you're not working on your business at least once a week, then there's a problem. You need to remind yourself to do it every day. I remember clearly when I entered to my MBA specifically, the teacher, or I'm sorry, the counselor was like, I understand that you study very much when you were in college, I mean, in your undergrad, but I'm telling you right now, if you don't start studying every day for at least 20 minutes, you're not going to succeed in your MBA. The expectations are higher, the grades, it needs to be higher. And I remember I was like, 20 minutes? Who have 20 minutes every day? But I learned really quick and really fast that discipline, that mind discipline that requires to have an MBA, it has to be started from day one. And now I actually think my MBA and other areas in my life, because that helped me to be not only consistent but also very disciplined even in my thoughts. Make sure that in my 20 minutes, at least 20 minutes to 30 minutes a day, I will dedicate myself to my spiritual being, my spiritual heart, or my soul. And I am Catholic, so not only I do do my prayers, I consider myself spiritual, and I do my meditation, because it does make a difference in the long run. That's why, again, with this program that I have for 40 days, I recommend it to do it for 40 days every day. And if you skip one day, to start from the beginning, because of that reason, because it requires a discipline of exactly 40 days to at least 40 days to see changes in the patterns that you do daily. All right, with that, I will wrap it up. I wanted to just remind you those 3 steps. First, make sure to get clear in what you need or in what you want. Number 2, set one boundary or boundaries, at least one, a non-negotiable into this step. For instance, if you're going to say that you wanted to lose 20 pounds by December, set up a non-negotiable like 3 times a week, no matter what, boundaries or action, or make sure that you to do it, and at least to do one aligned action daily. And again, it doesn't have to be an hour. It can be just 20 minutes, 5 minutes, to make sure that you work that spiritual part of you as well. Again, I thank you so much for being here. This has been such a pleasure to do, because I never thought in my life that doing a podcast can be actually so much fun. But I thank you so much. And please make sure to not only follow my podcast, but follow me in Instagram. I have also TikTok, and say hello, wave and say hello, sister, hello, goddess. And I hope you're doing amazing. I hope that those goals and dreams that you have, you work on it and have the faith that it will happen, and it will happen. I mean, there's no reason why not can happen. If it happened for somebody else that you kind of see that they have what you want, then it's definitely possible for you. And like my grandmother said, there's always a solution for everything. There's always an answer for everything. So again, I thank you so much. And with that, I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you.
Here, we unlock our inner power and invite wealth in all its forms. Tap into your light. Breathe in the prosperity that surrounds you.